It's Zoom is my best friend now.
Yeah.
It's insane.
You
I hear
know,
you.
it's funny because I had never heard of Zoom before this year, and
Oh yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
now it's a
insane.
thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Same
just
here.
like how I've never heard of Pop Shop.
Oh god. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we are live. We're live
Yay!
Where are we live?
on YouTube.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, and then it'll obviously be a podcast and whatnot, like recorded. But yeah, right now we are live. We do this, and
Nice.
but welcome to the podcast. It's Ben Goretsky from 3D Retro Designer Con USA ePay,
Yeah.
and probably more.
There's
welcome.
other things. Yeah, there's always other things. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. But
hanging
how
in
are you? Who cares about us?
there.
What's
good.
going on?
Yeah, man, today's a big day.
Today is a big day.
Today is a big day. Today was a big day. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Doing good.
No servers went down today. No, no data center crashes.
No,
We're not talking about USA ePay here. It's
No,
a
no,
big
no.
day for Decon.
Yeah.
It's a big day for Decon. We did a big announcement today. We've been waiting to see how things were gonna end up being in August, and now we are in August, and we basically had decided that unfortunately, with the situation with COVID as it is right now, at least, it's just not possible for us to do an event with the amount of people and the amount of vendors and the amount of international vendors and all the stuff that we want to do it in person. It's just impossible.
So wait, did you think it was possible a month ago?
No, but you know what? I thought maybe in June, I really had my hopes up because I think like in May, June, we were still really trying hard to like flatten the curve and get things down. And I thought, man, it's like, okay, we started this in March. So March, April, May, that's 3 months. June, that's 4 months. July, that's like 5 months. August, that's 6 months in. Dude, by August, we are gonna be so like much better. We're like, it's still gonna be there, but we flatten the curve, and we're gonna be doing our regular social distancing thing, which we're gonna be so used to by then, and like, hospitalizations are gonna be down. Our healthcare system is gonna be able to handle any influx. And man, was I wrong. So now we're in August, and our numbers are higher than ever. They're actually higher than they were in May and June. And even though I will say that things are starting to go down,
Yes.
again, thank God, that things are going down again, and supposedly things are better. There's still a huge unlikelihood that we would be able to hold the event in November. On top of it, I think it would be very selfish and inconsiderate of us to basically tell people or tell our vendors like, hey, get ready for a show that's like 90 days from now, and then risk the possibility of telling these guys, a week or two before the show, like, yeah, sorry, we're not doing it. There's lots of work, there's lots of money, there's lots of effort that goes in from every single vendor. You would know, Eric, preparing for a show.
And Luke.
Oh yeah.
And Luke, yeah.
Luke. Wait, this way.
DesignerCon's the only
guys are
this way.
You guys are this way for me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. But yeah, no, it's work.
But yeah, so we decided, let's just do the right thing. Let's do a virtual version, which is what we're doing. And we're gonna reward the people that don't ask us for a refund by pushing their registration to 2021 and grandfathering them in for what they already paid. And at the same time, we're going to go ahead and give them basically a free setup to our digital online designer con 2020 with our partners at Pop Shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yes.
Pops up.
So
There it is.
I predicted this one about a week ago, maybe. I was thinking, I have a feeling this is what's going on here. You know? Yeah. I had a feeling.
That away. What was it?
Nah, just because the frequency of your, the amount you guys do there, and the fact that it seems very robust and powerful for you.
Yeah.
There, that I was thinking, oh, this audience is just like, you're gaining a lot of momentum very quickly on this thing, and in 90 days, I guess you'll just be that much more robust.
Oh yeah, and don't forget, the application right now is iOS only.
Yeah, it's beta. Yeah, still beta.
Yeah, it's still technically beta. It's still iOS. We will be starting to beta test the web application next week. So I would say in the next 30 days, there will be a final, completed, available to the public web application, accessible through any browser, as well as any Android application. That way, even people with iPhones and iPads won't need to burn through their batteries.
So you could use so you'll be able to use a Samsung phone or whatever.
Absolutely.
Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
But
okay.
more importantly, you'll be able to just open up your laptop and go into it, or right in front of our computers.
So have like a minimized screen or a very small screen while you're at work.
Multitask. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, I mean, sorry, not at work. While you're working from home.
Time at work.
Working from home.
That 6-hour break that you have at work, you will be able to enjoy Pop Shop. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We've been kind of testing the waters with 3D Retro, and we've gotten a few kinks here and there, which we've worked out. And there's all these things which are being built, especially for DesignerCon. So that's the other thing. Like,
well, take us through it. What's it going to look like, or what do you think it's going to look like, even in the broadest sense?
So
the widest brush.
Anybody that uses the app now, and you know this, Eric, because Giant Robot is part of Pop Shop now.
Yep.
And Luke, you've seen it in action because you were at the store and you saw how we were putting things up. I mean. It was amazing. Like, Eric, we would put up, an item that Luke would bring in. We like your gachapons. We put up 50 gachapons, and we're like, all right, guys, it's up, and it would sell out in like less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, I have major jealousy of that. Mine isn't quite that robust, but yeah, okay.
But
my arms are folded, man. I'm just like.
But it's like it can be. It can be. But
I'm working on it.
There you go. Yeah. So the way that we envision this happening is, first of all, we understand that if we tell everybody, like, look, we're doing it on Pop Shop and you need to download the app, we would probably get about 100,000 people trying to sign in and buy products that are exclusives and so on and so forth. So we don't want that.
That's a bad problem.
It's a bad problem in terms of, like, it would just flood it and it would just make it too much.
Oh, and too many sales. Oh, that's just horrible.
I know. What a horrible problem to have.
Jeez. We don't even have to get out of bed and there's just tons of sales.
I know. Oh, what am I going to buy now as I drink my coffee and latte? So there will still be an admission that you need to pay in order to get access to DesignerCon.
Wow.
But it's not that expensive. I believe the weekend or the full weekend admission is going to be $20, and you get an access code. And the reason for that is, once again, we need to somehow limit the number of people, or else it would just be way too overwhelming. Like,
I don't know, man. Isn't it better as a vendor, right, Luke? Just bring it on.
I
Bring on the cash.
I kind of want to believe that, but like at the same time, I can understand why. Like
he witnessed it. What happens?
yeah. It was.
I want to know what that's like.
Imagine having 100 of something and then it's gone.
That is the dream, isn't it?
that is the dream.
Yeah.
That is the dream. And it's a wonderful thing. And we've seen it happen time and time and time again on 3D Retro through this application, which makes it just more viable for us to put the convention on.
Yeah.
So in terms of your question, like, yeah, so you get access into the app, and what happens is they are developing a completely different interface than what the interface we have right now. And there will be highlighted vendors for drops that are scheduled. There will
that's us, right, Luke?
There you go. No, but Giant Robot could be one of the highlighted. You tell.
Okay, whatever.
Well, no. What you would do?
I'm joking.
Like, but let's say, for example, it could be you, it could be somebody else. Somebody emails us and tells us, hey,
no, not anybody else, just us.
Just you.
Anyway, go ahead.
You say, hey,
I'm
guys,
sorry, go ahead.
Saturday at 2:00 we're doing this drop, and Sunday at 1:00 we're doing this drop. We would actually highlight that in the app, and people would be able to enter your chat and things like that. And then there's all kinds of other things where you can actually see highlighted products, because right now in the app it doesn't really have that. So there's the highlighting of actual products where if you like the item, it drops you into that room. There's going to be things where it's like highlighted vendors, and just it's going to be really interactive. It really, so one of the challenges that we have is creating a convention experience. And one of the things about a convention experience is that it's not easy. Going to a convention is not easy. And I'm not saying that, if you do a virtual convention, you have to make it extremely difficult, but there are some elements of the convention which make it what it is. And one of those, and I'm not talking about the lines. The lines suck. What I'm talking about is knowing that there's a drop at one booth at 1:00, but there's also another drop at another booth at 1:00. And you need to figure out, as the person in the convention, how am I going to pick up both of these items? And it's going to be the same experience here, because Giant Robot might be dropping something at 1:00, and Monkey King might be dropping something at 1:00.
No.
Oh yeah. And they will have to go into the chat room for Giant Robot and listen and purchase, and then we'll be like, okay, now I got to run over to the Monkey King booth and hope that there's still left these, and they might get in there and it might be sold out.
I see.
That's the con experience,
I think the con experience is the experience of discovery, right? Like walking around, seeing stuff, seeing people, the buzz, and
but there's so there's going to be that with like highlighted products and certain things. And look, we understand that not every single vendor is going to be able to do this or is going to want to do this.
Right.
But we highly encourage everyone to at least try it. And even if you're not live during the whole duration of the con, if you want to just sign on like every hour for a drop for 30-40 minutes, then that would be great too. I mean, there's going to be some artists that I know that are going to be on the entire duration of the show, and they're going to do live sketching, and they're going to talk to their fans, and they're going to take commissions live, and they're going to tell stories, and then they're going to be like, okay, this hour we're going to do this, and they're going to call their friends because you can do split screen.
Yeah.
And they're going to do contests and raffles and giveaways, and it's going to be amazing. And then there's going to be some people, some artists that are like, hey guys, I'm only signing on at 1:00, 3:00. I'm going to be on for an hour, and we're going to be selling some of our exclusives and some commissions or something like that. And
so basically, will there be infrastructure for, let's say, 400 vendors to all be on live at the same time?
The infrastructure is there. Whether or not we're going to actually have 400 vendors on at the same time, like, that's we're going to see. Do I want 400 vendors on at the same time? Honestly, no, not really. Um, you know, like I said, I think a lot of it's going to be just like some vendors are just going to push their registration to 2021 and kind of maybe enter the con and see what it's all about and not do anything, because you do have to have a good internet connection. You have to have like at least some kind of a setup to sell. And some people may not want to deal with that. So we'll see.
Is there an amount, like a limit, or have you figured out a ceiling? Like how many is too many?
By talking with the people at Pop Shop, the infrastructure is pretty much set for thousands
Wow.
vendors.
Wow.
Yeah. We live in our own little like isolated area of the app. So we're able to do whatever we want in it. And
there's like
great
shows and stuff like that going on, like weird quiz shows, and like I've been jumping in and out of like different people's feeds, and like people
this weekend on Pop Shop is going to be metaphysical weekend or something like that.
What is
it? Like on Saturday or something. The specials is going to be things that are metaphysical related. So like last week it was toys.
Yeah.
This weekend is going to be like metaphysical related.
Yeah, we did the toy weekend.
Me too. But it's one of those things too. I think it's that sounds really interesting to me, actually. But do you realize that by doing what you're doing, you're actually, how do I explain? You're doing the world a favor, the convention world a favor, perhaps, because this is exactly what they all need to be doing. And like Comic-Con didn't do it like this. But going forward, they're gonna, if they're smart enough, they're gonna see this and realize, like, you're creating a convention app that's beyond Pop Shop. You know, I don't know. Like it might be worth 20 times more than what it is now because of just that.
Right. I would.
Thank you.
I would 100% agree with you, and I think that when we started looking for a solution, and we started looking back in like, honestly, we started looking back in like April, May.
And I remember jumping in with you for the Thailand Toy Expo one.
Yeah, that's right. And it was extremely disappointing. It was so disappointing. And everything that we saw was disappointing. And like everything that everyone was doing was disappointing. And maybe the mentality of the conventions is, this is something that we really don't want to invest too much time and money in, because by next year, this will all be done and over with. And, you know, we can all look back on this and not worry. But at the same time, it's for the fans out there, and especially for us that have been in quarantine for like 6 months now. I just strongly believed we need something different. Like I honestly was like, if we do what everyone else is doing in November, the same shit that everyone was doing in April, we are gonna get, like, nobody's going to benefit. We're going to look bad. The vendors are going to look bad. The attendees are going to be, oh, great, another one of these. I mean, you saw it with San Diego, because a lot of the artists, were doing their own cons.
Yeah.
And a lot of the larger vendors, they really didn't participate in San Diego online. They did their own thing. They took the dates of San Diego Comic-Con and they said, on these dates, we're going to be doing this release, or we're going to be doing that release. I mean, Funko still did their thing and their website crashed. They had that many people go to their thing. You know, Sideshow did a whole thing on their site, Sideshow Con or whatever it was called. I mean, it really wasn't a encapsulated convention feel, you know, where it's like, I have to go here, or I need to log into here to experience this live, interactive convention. It was like, hey, Black Friday's on this day, so go to all your favorite vendors and see if they have a sale. You know, it was kind of like that. It's like San Diego Comic-Con's on these dates, so go check out all these people's websites and see what they're doing.
You know, I've been, as soon as I saw you and Japan LA get the Pop Shop accounts, and then Eric get one as well, I I was like, what's going on here? This sounds kind of fun. I'm a bit of a ham. I think I could have fun with this. And I subscribed to get a seller's account, and
you did, and you got approved for one.
That was quick.
And I was talking to them, but like I kind of realized that like this may not be the right feel for me, the right thing for me, just because I can't do weekly sales because I just don't have that.
But you don't have to. Right. I don't think you have to.
No, I don't. But I think it's in both pop shops and the seller's interest to be on a regular schedule.
Right.
I see.
I also kind of feel that, but then like something like an event like say DesignerCon would be like, you know, where like you get a bunch of different like vendors, you know, artist vendors participating in this thing could be great because myself, I can imagine maybe doing it quarterly. Like maybe like, you know, or every time I have a release or every time I get my allotment for an exclusive colorway or something like that.
Right.
You know, it would.
But you can do that. I mean, you can do that too. You can do it any way you want, or you don't have to. I think your shit sells no matter what it smells like. You're fine. You know what I'm saying? You're good. Like you're fine. But maybe for others, it might help them more. You know.
I think Luke's right. You know, like for yourself, Luke. You would do very well, like, you know, teaming up with Giant Robot or teaming up with 3D Retro or teaming up with Monkey King for releases and doing things like what you would usually do for your releases. Sure. But in a convention level, you know, doing it, and who knows if there's going to be multiple conventions that use this kind of platform, that, you know, doing it every quarter makes sense for you, where you sell your own prints, you sell your own colorway, you sell your own pins. That makes more perfect sense. And honestly, speaking of that, you know, we as DesignerCon, one of the things we will be looking at is, depending on how things go, and we think things will go well, you know, there's no reason why we, even after everything opens up, why we wouldn't continue to use this and have 2 shows a year. Imagine vendors signing up where basically they sign up for, you know, to be a vendor in November, and when they sign up to do that, they automatically get access to our spring show or our summer show, which is online. And you know, 2-3 years in, even though this is something very brand new now, 2-3 years in, people will be so used to it and they'll be like, oh man, I love that online one because I don't need to travel to Anaheim. I don't need to ship my products. I don't need to book a hotel room. I don't need to rent a car. I don't need to buy an airline ticket. I don't need to do all these things. I've got my workshop set up over there and I'm able to sell just as much, if not more, without having all those expenses.
Yeah, it's kind of a scary thought in a way, right?
It is.
Because you can also argue, what's the point of a brick and mortar store anymore? You know, if it goes well, hey, maybe you don't even need that, you know, anymore.
Trust me, I've thought about it.
Yeah, I've already thought about it too, and I'm only on this thing for what, 4 streams like in a week, and I'm like, what's the point? What do I need to, you know? But yeah. It's really scary.
I will say the brick and mortar, at least the way that we saw it, is it does give us a wonderful stage.
Yeah.
To do our show on.
Sure.
You know, but at the same time, I'm sure you might think about it, or at least one of my thoughts was, it's really easy to stage a warehouse area where you're only paying 10 cents a square foot instead of a retail storefront on Sawtell in a high traffic area where it's more like, I would say maybe 10, 15
costs a little more
a square foot.
Costs a little more. But at the same but there's also an argument for, like, if you're looking at an artist, let's say at the Decon online, seeing Luke Chu in his own room is just as interesting. He's got this little Village People guy right here, but he's a little. Okay. I thought it was a
Godzilla. There you go.
I thought it was a naked man with a something, backpack on. Oh, I thought it was a backpack naked man. And I was
No,
like, Luke, what do you?
no,
Okay,
it's
anyway.
That's a cool
Gotcha.
figure. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that one is cool.
I love this thing.
But anyways, yeah, it's one of those things too. Like you get a different viewpoint on an artist. You know, whatever you want to show us, but it's your workspace, your whatever space.
Yeah.
We get to see that too. That's kind of different because otherwise, at a convention, you're looking at everybody at an artificial artifice. You know what I mean? Like, here's what I'm setting up for you to look at. This time, it's whatever they want you to see that's available at home. Right? It's just a different look.
But
Kind
at
of
the
fun.
same time, we all understand that as much as we do Zooms and as much as we do live videos, we as people, we need like a physical interaction,
Yeah.
which is why, you know, a lot of people are like, aren't you afraid this is going to destroy DesignerCon instead of help it? Like, no,
No, it's not the same. Yeah.
it's not the
Definitely not the
same.
same.
It will never be the same.
But the sales might be the same.
But the sales might be the same. And
Da-ding!
if anything, it's just an extension of
Yeah.
the show. It's another part of it. It's something that will help us grow the show that much more.
Yeah. Oh, I have a couple questions online. So this is more of a pop shop question, but you might know the answer.
Sure.
What about international shipments? That's going to affect decon for sure.
Yeah. So
Right now it's U.S. only, right? So.
Yeah, right now it's US only. I know that some vendors, some international vendors, first of all, the reason they do decon is because they know that everybody that's buying it is in the United States. Clearly, you have to be there in order to buy it. It doesn't matter where you come from. You are in the United States when you are buying the figure or the collectible or whatever it may be. And already a couple of our international vendors have basically said, we cannot sell to anyone that is not in North America, meaning US, Canada. So some vendors will automatically restrict sales to North America. For the other vendors that do want to sell internationally, Pop Shop does have an option built in where you can charge shipping, and they did say that they will open it up to international shipping if the vendor wants.
Wow.
So
cool.
Yeah, like, you know, it's going to be interesting because especially some of the larger hint vendors out there have already told us no sales to international clients. Like, it has to be shipped to the United States or Canada. That's it.
All right, but there are what do you call it? Places that you could ship to that'll ship to anywhere in the world, right? Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Yeah,
Get
there is that.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Nonetheless, this sounds really exciting. I don't know. What do you think, Luke? Do you have an opinion?
You know, I'm just kind of curious about seeing how this can work, like, after the pandemic. And like, you know, one of the things that I kind of liked about the app, and like I had I hung out at 3D Retro last weekend, and you know, we were just walking around with the camera, and it's, you know, we bring something up, we take a picture of it, we post it onto the store with a quantity and a price, and just, you know, watch it move out. And I was thinking, like, you know, that's kind of great. It has a certain flexibility where, you know, you like, even at a con, you get someone walking around representing Pop Shop and Designer Con, you know, everyone like sets an allotment of whatever, you know, for online sales, and you could just boom, like even like say during an actual con.
Right.
You know, but like, I don't know. I'm just like trying to picture how it would work, but I think I don't know. I mean, like it's interesting. I think it's the most innovative solution so far that I've seen. Like, we've seen people try and recreate actual conventions virtually, and it's just like, this is dumb. This is, you know, like, this is just pointless. Now, like, you know, what would be great is if something like, you know, you get notifications dropping in the app, you know, to let you know, like, hey, this is happening here, this is happening there, you know.
Good idea, Luke.
You know?
Are we gonna get your voice though? It would be so cool if this voice that comes in, like, where's this coming from?
The
And it's
voice
Ben's
of
voice.
the sky.
Yeah.
No voice
No.
of the sky. But
I'm gonna miss that.
It's called notifications.
Yeah. What about? Okay, so there's lightning bolts that you can give. Can you turn that into that little man, the decon dude, instead of the
Maybe like his little thumbs up. That would be
or something?
cool.
Yeah, something, right?
I
Something
will-
different.
Head floating up all over the place.
Yeah.
I will have to talk to the guys at
I mean,
Pop Shop.
you could change it to the General Robot. I'd give you permission.
There you go. Wouldn't it be fun if every channel could upload their own little icon?
Right?
See,
Like,
man,
well,
I have
floating
I have
everywhere.
you probably have a ton. I have so many ideas for Pop Shop,
Okay.
but you know how it is. It's all good. So, tell me about as a convention owner, I guess, or a person who runs one. Tell me about pandemic insurance. Was there such thing? Did you pay for that, or what's going on the back end of that? Because you must have paid a deposit.
I
What
did pay a
happens?
deposit. There is a clause in your contract with every convention called the force majeure.
Force majeure.
Force majeure. Thank you. And the force majeure basically says that in times like this, pandemics, acts of God, things like this, uncontrollable things that force closure. Basically, our force majeure is saying the state of California has no regulations set on how an event our size with this many people in this kind of space can happen. No regulations, no guidelines, nothing. And honestly, the people that are most pissed off about it is the Anaheim Convention Center. Because without these guidelines and rules set forth by the state of California, because they are a city-owned property, unlike Pasadena, which is a privately owned convention center,
Oh wow.
but still falls under the regulations of the Convention Bureau, because they all are all part of this, Convention Bureau. They have to have these guidelines, and nothing has come from the state. And they strongly believe, that the reason that this is happening is because, at least for California, and I don't know, probably the rest of the United States, we are now too busy trying to figure out what we're doing with schools. We've been, for the past, I would say 2 months, we have been trench warfare about sending kids to school, not sending kids to school. If they do send them, how much screen time is too much screen time? How do you interact with other kids? How do you interact with the teacher? How do you get that one-on-one? How do you, there is so much in terms of schools that the idea of, what, you want to put on a convention? Are you insane? What is wrong with you? Go away. Don't bother us. And because of that clause, that force majeure clause, we got an out. We were basically able to go to the convention center and say, we don't know how to do it. You don't know how to do it. So we're not doing anything. Now, clearly, we're not a one and done show. We want to do the show next year. We want to do the show after the year after that. And now, honestly, we already booked our dates for 2021.
Sure.
We already have the hall and the date set. So what we basically did was we went to Anaheim and we made an agreement that everything that we gave money for 2020 will be moved to 2022. And they were fine with it. And we were fine with it. And
Not 2021.
no, because
2021
has already been signed and agreed
Wow.
upon. And
Oh wow.
money's been given for 2021.
Okay, so what about the money for 2020, like this year? Did that just get pushed, or do you kind of have to eat
Pushed
some
to
money? Or-
2022.
Oh, so they let you do that?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Now, if we didn't have anything set for 2021, we would have probably used the money for 2021. But
Gotcha.
the point is that we have everything already set for 2021. So we're using it for 2022.
Did they fight you on that? Like, were they trying to say, "Hey, we can't give you back the money. Sorry." No.
Not at all.
Okay.
Anaheim Convention Center has been fantastic to deal with. great people to work with over there. Very happy.
Oh, I guess it being not private, maybe they can do that. Maybe the Pasadena one would not be so kind. It might.
I was just thinking that, like,
No, they all fall into the same
Really?
thing. And honestly, I still am friends with a lot of the people from the Pasadena Convention Center. So kind of like even one of the people that work with me on DesignerCon is an employee of the Pasadena Convention Center. It's just that she was so amazing and so good that I had to hire her for my show. So she works, and she sometimes gives me updates as to how Pasadena, and honestly, they all fall into the same bureau.
Wow.
Where it's like, whenever Anaheim would tell us something, she would be just like, yeah, same here. Like, so they're all doing the same thing. We're all in the state of California. We all have to follow state guidelines and regulations. Unfortunately, we don't have any federal guidelines because there's nobody there to make federal guidelines for us in terms of this, or to help us fight this thing. So it's all on a state by state level. But at the same time, the larger convention centers across the United States all talk to each other. Anaheim is the largest convention center in the West Coast. So you better believe that they're talking to all the other large convention centers.
It's the largest convention center in the West Coast.
San Diego's got to be bigger.
Come on, San Diego.
No. Anaheim Convention Center is the largest convention center in the West Coast.
What? No way.
Yeah.
No, I no.
True. Guys, go look. Check out the square footage.
How's that possible?
It's
it
massive.
Is it because it's like multiple floors or something? San Diego's big, man.
Yeah.
Isn't San Diego like a quarter-mile long or something?
You know that, first of all, the Anaheim Convention Center has 3 floors to it. You don't really see them unless you're in the lobby, and then you notice all the stairs and escalators and all that. They have massive conference rooms on the 2nd and 3rd floors. On top of it, they just they've also added on the expansion buildings, which are an additional 200,000 square feet, columnless, completely columnless.
Don't be in there during an earthquake.
Wow.
Boom.
It's built by Disney Magic.
Okay, they're good. They're fine. I'm kidding. Oh wow.
But yeah, it is the largest convention center on the West Coast.
Wow.
Bigger than LA and bigger than San Diego.
So how hard was it to make your decision to not do the decon thing? I mean, like Orange County's a little bit loosey-goosey on the mask thing. They're a little bit, things are like, oh, we can kind of open. It's okay. We don't need masks. I mean, were you ever aligned thinking, you know what, that means decon can happen?
No, every single time.
No, okay.
It was the complete opposite. Every single time I heard some lunatic that lives in Anaheim or Orange County say, we don't need masks. The last time I checked, I was born in America and I have rights. Like, that kind of shit drove me insane, because I knew, like, it's because of assholes, and I'm sorry if I'm not supposed to say that word on here, but it's because of like that was gonna cause what we're in right now. Like, this is not rocket science, people. This is a virus. It's a pandemic. The way you stop it is that you wear your masks and you wash your hands and you keep your social distance until this thing ends. Everyone across the damn fucking ocean on both sides of us has already done it. And wow, it's worked. How amazing is that? But we as Americans love to pull out our dicks and tell everybody that ours is bigger than everyone else, because we were born with that damn right to spell America. So unfortunately, we're stuck where we are. And it just pissed me off every time I would hear about like just Orange County. And I even told this to the convention center. I told them, like, can you please go outside and tell your lunatic neighbors to stop hanging out at bars and start wearing masks? Like, they're like, we know.
So can you have, since there's no mandate or anything, you could have still had your convention, right? And limited the people, like said, oh, only 500 in at a time. And
there's no guidelines.
Yeah. So you could have, right? In that way?
That's the thing.
I thought with no guidelines meant you could have just done it.
No. No guidelines mean the convention center is closed.
Oh, I got you.
So here's the risk that we would have been able to take. This is one of the options that was offered to us. We could have continued to wait. We're in August right now. We could have waited until September. And let's say there's no guidelines in September. And then we could have waited till October, but there's no guidelines in October. And then November 1st rolls around and we get some guidelines. And it says we need to stagger booths and we need to limit this and we need to do that. And honestly, like, I don't want this thing to last. Or let's say by November, this thing is gone. Like it's not gone, but it's like it's safe,
Right.
which is for me, God, I hope that happens. I really don't care. I'm not going to look back and be like, damn, I should have just kept going. Like we could have had a convention. No, like I really do hope even with all of this that we're able to say that October, November, like I want to have a Halloween. I want to be able to go out and trick or treat with my kids. But right now that seems impossible. So I want to be able to do that. I don't care at the end of the day about the convention and like regretting it. But yes, we could have waited. We could have waited, and we could have waited for guidelines, and we could have waited to see what the state says and what the city says and figured it out. But at the same time, like I mentioned before, that is completely unfair to our vendors because it's already telling our vendors already to wait till August is rough. Telling them to wait another month and then expecting them to wait until what? A month before the show, 2 weeks before the show date to start planning how they're going to do things is just, it's wrong. And so we had decided we have to make a decision. We have to.
Yeah. Was there ever an outdoor version, even a consideration? I mean, I know weather, but still, was that ever an idea?
So
Just
we've been
tense,
doing
man.
This is our 15th anniversary of DesignerCon. 15 years. We have been through every kind of weather in November that you can possibly think of. We have had deluge rain. We have had massive heat, 100-some degree heat. We've had beautiful weather. We've had frigid cold. You step outside and you just freeze to death. And the thought of doing an event outside, first of all, it could not be a multi-day event because people would not, or vendors would not want to leave their valuable collectibles outside, even in a tent or zipped up tent overnight. What if it starts to rain? What if it's 100 degrees outside? What if it's so damn windy it knocks everybody's tents over? There's so many what ifs where the idea of doing an event outside is just horrifying.
Yeah. Okay. I just had to put out the Hail Mary question, man.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of weird possibilities, but it just seems like they all lead to an end of just no way, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, the way we do cons, there's a reason why we do cons the way we do. It's because of all these factors.
Yeah. Wow. Have you seen a runner-up to this pop shop thing that you are thinking, well, maybe this is better? Was there anything else? Like a consideration?
Yes.
What was that? Like Instagram or something? Or
no, not Instagram. Gosh. There is another platform out there that is doing streaming commerce because that's what this technology it's called. It's called streaming commerce. The other big streaming commerce platform out there is Network.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And they do a fantastic job and they have amazing products. They do things differently. They're more about doing a streaming commerce drop than a streaming commerce like live event thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we were looking into it, and we love the guys at Network. Don't get me wrong. We love working with them. 3D Retro, we do exclusives with them and drops with them. But for this event, we wanted to try Pop Shop Live because there is a lot of custom building to it. There is a lot of stuff that's being custom built for it.
Well, who's going to win this war then? They're at odds. Well, who's going to win?
There's enough room for everyone.
No.
Oh yeah.
I'm kidding. Okay.
The hype beast will go to network, and then everybody else will go to Pop Shop.
Well, doesn't that kind of make sense for decon? I mean, there's sort of like a hype beast element.
There is.
That, you know, like decon isn't quite that hype beast thing. I mean, there's an edge of it. It's kind of like, it's more for everybody. I thought decon was a little more democratized than, like, let's say, other high fashion type of conventions.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
so I don't know if it might fit the profile better anyway.
Yeah, we're more
Anyone heard
indie.
about ComplexCon?
What is it?
Has anyone heard anything about ComplexCon? Like,
Well, that's the high fashion thing I was talking about. Just now that it's ComplexCon.
yes.
Yeah.
They would be on network, right? If they were doing it, that would be on network. It
Like,
just seems-
Possibly.
Are they even still doing anything, or like?
We don't know.
No, it hasn't come up at all. Like, I haven't heard.
You know, a good person to ask would be Kevin.
it.
He's very much into that world, and I think if anyone could answer that, it would be probably Kevin.
Yep.
Wow.
Kevin, where are you?
Kevin,
Drop
explain
him in just for a couple seconds.
He's working on getting his next pair of sneakers.
Oh, wow.
That's where you...
So do you have are you sending a new packet out to vendors or artists, or what's going to happen?
So yeah, so in the
I didn't get anything in the email today.
nothing today.
Okay.
We just did the general announcement today. In the next, so it's either going to be Friday or Monday. All vendors that have already registered will be getting an email from us.
I paid.
I know.
Like in February, I think. February.
Yeah, you did. And
Yeah.
and in this email, we will give you options on what you can do. One of those options will be to request a full refund. And one of those options,
you're locked out of Pop Shop if you do that, right?
you're locked out of Pop Shop, except for you.
Damn.
Except for
Oh,
you,
no.
because you have already a Pop Shop account.
Yeah, but yours is kind of like, it's sort of like, yeah, no, I'll be on yours, man.
Yeah, because we're gonna push you.
Well, and also,
But then the other thing
yeah.
is that if you decide to basically let us hold on to your money, we just defer it to 2021, and we guarantee you that whatever you signed up for, you will get, and you will not incur any additional fees on top of it. So let's say the price of booths go up $100 or $200 next year because the convention center costs have gone up, this has gone up, we need to charge more. We guarantee you that, look, you've already paid for your booth, you have nothing to worry about.
do we also get an extra free VIP or anything? Because we are VIPs for not taking our money back. And
I mean, you Eric, maybe. We'll talk after.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering for all the vendors, that decide you could hold my money and earn interest on it if I could get that VIP. I could get that VIP. That interest is like 0.01 or whatever it is. Like it's virtually it costs you more to hold it probably than to give it back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Taxes involved and all that. Oh my God. But yeah, an email will go out giving all these options to our vendors, and we hope that for the most part vendors will be okay with it and just basically be like, yeah, sign me up for Pop Shop. I want to defer my payment. I want to make sure that I have a booth for 2021. We've actually had, ever since we did the IG live today, we've already had people say like, can I pay for a 2021 booth now? And be involved at the Pop Shop. So I don't know how many openings we'll have for that, because we really want to take care of the people that already registered first.
Right.
That's our number one concern, is the vendors already involved.
I think one thing you have to do too is a lot of people out there probably don't know what Pop Shop is yet, and they have. I was skeptical from hearing about it. I was like, what is this cult thing? Like I likened it to like a cult. I'm like, I don't want to join this cult. Like I felt like I was really uncomfortable with it for a while. But it's nothing like what I thought. But I thought it was weird.
One of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
But it's just one of those things. I think people need to see it to understand it. And I don't know how you could explain that in a packet, but they need to understand that it has value, more value than they think, actually, from what I understand.
Completely agree with you. So there will be a level of education, and we will be doing that education. And we'll be making videos, and we'll be making tutorials, and we'll be doing all this, which is why we need to start now.
Right.
We understand that, like, our goal is that by the first week of October, we give every single vendor access to their account on PopShop, so they can, because as well as I do, you can preload items or you can load them up live. We want people to get comfortable with the application. We want people to understand a little bit. And there, like I said, there is a learning curve.
Well, the way to everyone's hearts is you saying, see this, if you have 100 of them, of these Yosuke things, it might sell in 10 seconds.
Right.
And that's when people are going to go, oh, okay. Yeah. That's a quick okay.
But it's true.
That's how you get to people's hearts.
It works. It's so true.
Well, for all the small vendors, though, they just hope to get that exposure and possible sale. I mean, ultimately, they want to make sales, right? That's sort of what these conventions are for. So
I'll tell you, Luke was on the show, and so we had the number one thing we had was we had those little gachapons. We bought like 50 of them.
Those bears, they're like $5.
Yeah. Are they $5 or $12?
They're $5.
They're $5.
They're $5 little.
I thought they were 12. Okay.
Yeah, the big ones are like 30, and the
30
ones are 5.
Oh, I got it all wrong. I didn't buy that for the shop because I thought that was $12.
No, they're $5 little gachapons.
Oh, I got it all wrong.
But it doesn't matter, Eric.
Sorry, Luke. Sorry, Luke.
You can't buy them now anyway, because what happened is we sold so many of we sold out of the ones that we did for Luke's show, that I went back to his distribution channel. I said, wow, we sold out of over I think 60 units in 10 seconds. I went back and I bought all of them from this district. I said, however many you have, I want all of them. And on the last show, we're like, hey guys, we got more. Luke didn't sign those because there's just too many of them to sign. They're too little. But we put up, I think there were maybe 200 or 300 of those left at Dispersed, Luke, which is the distribution for those.
Yeah.
We bought all of them, and I think we've already sold through about 150 units.
Can I have the rest?
Email me.
And what are you going to do with all this money, Ben? You're just killing it. What are you going to do with this? Oh, okay. All right.
Buy more product. That's honestly what we're doing. We're
sure.
Sales are fantastic for us on here, and we're making more relationships with artists to either come into the store and do releases. We just did our last show. Yeah, Joe Ledbetter was on. We kind of ambushed him when he came into the store last time. So we're like, why don't we do it right? And he brought in a whole bunch of stuff, and we sold through everything that he brought in. Pins and figures and resin statues.
Ben, for us small fries on PopShop, maybe you should take a break for a month.
No, never. This thing is incredible. Why would I ever leave this thing?
I don't know. Just you're tired of it. Money is heavy, dude.
Oh, I love it. Our next show
is just so heavy.
We already have another show Friday.
More money, more problems.
And on Friday we have Vic Castillo coming.
Damn.
Oh, I know. That new piece is amazing.
Anyway, congrats, man.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. But I'm glad that you're actually sharing it in a way, right? You're going to be sharing it with people, with vendors. And I actually, since I'm an insider on I use PopShop, I would say this is a great idea. I feel really good about it. I can see it working.
I think that's because you've used it. Like you said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm an insider, and I believe. But I think for others, and I could think of many other vendors that, quote, are smaller than me. It's going to be great for them.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
They're going to be able, I can already see vendors that sell things like stickers and pins, and stickers that are $2 or pins that are $10. And they'll be like, well, I made 50 of them for the convention, because usually that's the amount that I sell. They're going to put up 50 of them. They're going to sell out in minutes, and they're going to be like, I don't have anything else to sell.
Oh, question.
Yeah.
There is shipping that's right now anyway, it's a certain price. It's a fixed price,
Yes.
right? You buy a bunch of stuff, it's a fixed price. But is there a way that at this convention that it's going to be consolidated so you could buy things from many booths and have it be only one-time
No,
shipment?
no,
Is
you
that
can't
possible?
do that because the
Okay, I didn't
problem
think
is that every single vendor still has to ship. But what will happen is, let's say I go shopping at Giant Robot on Friday, and then I come back in and I shop some more on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'm like, hey, I'm going to come back and I'm going to buy that little thing that I was thinking about buying, but now I'm definitely going to buy it. So I bought something on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. For vendors, it's going to consolidate the orders into one, and it's a flat rate shipping for the customer, no matter how much they bought from a vendor in all 3 days.
Boom. That's a big deal right there.
It is. It's wonderful.
That's an awesome deal. But so then can vendors team up and then ship together and make it where you could buy from 3 different booths and make it one ship rate as well?
I don't know. I mean, it's something that they'd have to tell us ahead of time.
Right.
Like, hey, we're all using the same distribution channel.
Right. Yeah. You're packing all of it in one place together.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think for the most part, most people will be like, oh no, I just ship out of my garage, or I ship out of my space, I ship out of my store. So
gotcha.
But the fact that it consolidates everything that you've done in 3 days into one flat rate shipping, that in itself. I mean, think about it. Right now, you walk into the convention, you buy one big thing and you're lugging it around, and you got to go back to your car or back to your room and drop it off. Now it's like purchase, off to this purchase. It's like that in itself is worth the flat rate shipping.
I hope they hold on to that flat rate shipping, because that is like the biggest motivator to buying like big items too.
Absolutely.
The cultural aspects of Decon, are you going to be able to like somehow make that work and make it? Because right now we've talked only about sales. I mean, of course, I'm turned on by that. So, but I did forget the component of Decon is there's education, there's meeting people. I mean, there's parts that don't involve money that people go there for.
Well, that's where the live video is so important. Because here's the thing, right now, all the virtual conventions have been only about the sales. If you think about it, go to this website, you can buy this product. Yep. Go to that website, put in this code, it'll give you access to the con section of our site for the exclusive. It's all been about sales. The interactive live aspect is gone, and that's where the education comes in. So having this live video and having the ability to go into a vendor's live video and be like, oh my God, I am such a huge fan. Clearly you're typing this, but they see it live and you get the reaction live and you're talking to them live, and people can be like, I'm going to call you right now. Hold on, let's talk. Boom. You're on half the screen, they're on half the screen. It's like, so what's,
so you could do you could do a signing even, right? You could say, hey, I'm going to draw this for you. This is the one you're getting, right? And you can actually draw something for them or sign a book for them, personalized, right?
Yeah. I even told Luke, imagine taking like a 1 hour break from selling things, or like you've sold out of everything, and like, okay, guys, I'm going to put up right now a product it's a $30 commission, and it's a black and white on an 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to put up 5 of these. Bling, bling, bling. Okay, great. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for buying this. All right, guys, tell me what you want me to draw for you. It's like, all right, you want me to draw this? A bear wearing a cowboy hat? What did you want it to say? It's like that live aspect of it will make this almost as good as walking the convention floor.
Well, are you going to have a band?
The EMA aspect is actually kind of like a part of that, like, live interactive experience as well. You could, communicate with sellers, producers, artists, and drop questions, talk to them, and, get responses, and, which is of course part of that culture of the con, right?
What
Yeah.
about the final
So-
band, the VIP thing? Are you gonna get like Metallica
No,
to play
no
live?
VIP band. No VIP. The vendors are going to be so tired after doing this that they're going to need some rest for the
there's
next day
Okay.
and the
I,
next day.
I
But-
think you were mentioning something about VIP stuff though on Instagram Live though.
Yeah, we will still be offering VIP tickets because Friday night is still going to be strictly for VIPs. And
Wow.
as a VIP, you will still get a VIP box shipped to you. And inside that box, you will still get a VIP badge, a VIP lanyard, a VIP pin, a VIP exclusive bear brick. All these things are still going to be there. You're still going to be able to put on that badge on Friday and go and do your thing. But guys, at 6 o'clock,
Thank you so much, man.
and I gotta go
Thank
to
you.
my Toy Geeks live now.
All right.
Yeah. Well, can I just say one thing? I kind of think that if you expect people to pay for something like this, I think the VIP thing people would pay for, but I'm not sure about the rest
general.
The general, because to have early access to exclusives and unique items, that would be worth the people.
The VIP.
Yeah, but I don't know how much
The general is more made to kind of not overwhelm the whole thing.
Right.
So, and that's why we're trying to keep the price back a little bit.
Right.
Our idea is $20 for the weekend.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. We'll talk about it and we'll see how it goes.
Cool. Hey, if you want someone on Toy Geeks, let me drop me a link while I'm here.
All right. Thank you, sir. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Ben.
Guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye.